Hi, I'm Denise Garlick, your state representative for the 13th Norfolk District, representing all of Needham, all of Dover, and precincts 1 and 2 in Medfield. My job is to bring your voice to the State House, and today I've brought parts of the State House home to you. I wanted to introduce to you, and it's my great pleasure, Jessica Wong, who is a recent graduate from Needham High School, a freshman at UMass Amherst, and who interned in my office during her winter break, and Tom Sannicandro, the representative representing all of Ashland and parts of Framingham, who is the chairman for his second term on the Joint Committee on Higher Education. And I wanted to share with you just the story of how we came to be here tonight with you. Jessica, during her time interning, had the great opportunity to attend a program that was hosted by Representative Sannicandro called Financial Aid 101, and how we help to prepare the citizens of Massachusetts, of our Commonwealth, as they begin to look at attending colleges, what those financial constraints might be, what kind of information might be helpful to help them navigate that course, which we all know can be very complicated. And so Jessica attended that program and took notes for me and came back to the office and was on fire. And she had learned so much in that process. It was such a well-developed program. But her comment to me was, I wish I had known these things when I was applying to college. And so we were going to ask Jessica to talk a little bit about how she prepared to apply for college and where her support was and what her questions were. And then Representative Sannicandro will answer some of her questions, and he'll also talk about the broader picture of what we're talking about with higher education. So Jess, if you could talk just a little bit about your experience as an intern and what you learned in that program and what you wish you had known yourself.
Sure. So I interned, as we all know, with Representative Garlick, and I wanted to work with you because I'm a political science major, and I wanted to get an idea of the field of what it's like to be in the State House. And so what I learned was that a lot of things, actually, but I guess the resources that I had before interning with you was my guidance counselors at Needham High School, my friends who are also going through the process with their parents, and my family who have relatives, cousins that's gone through the process as well. And while all of those were helpful, all of them were also unique in their own way, because I was applying to different schools as my friends and my relatives, and a lot of different questions that I had. So a few of them that I had were about specifically the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, because I did receive that, and I heard that it's only for tuition, which is different from the fees, which was a little bit upsetting when I found out about that, or disappointing. And then also about a scholarship that I learned through the program that I did with Representative Garlick, which was the adopted and foster care children tuition waiver and fee waiver. Mm-hmm. So I just had a little bit of clarifying questions with that. But overall, I learned a lot, and I like that there's a new format being implemented with the federal government of having and laying out, each school is having this same layout, so each student knows mm-hmm. exactly how much they're getting from a school, and so they can decide and make the best decision for themselves.
Sure. And Jess, did you have a chance, that's called the calculator, right? Mm-hmm. That each college and university now has to have by law. Did you have a chance to use that when you were applying?
I did not, so I wish that was something that
So that's a great tool that's now available. So, great. Representative, what do you think of kind of Jess's experience, and then the kinds of things that she knew about and the things that she had questions about?
Yeah, well, thank you, Denise, for inviting me here. It's great to be here with you, and it's great to work with you at the State House, too. One of the things is that higher education is something that I get really excited about, and that's, you know, I asked to be chair, and I was made chair, and I'm really glad to be there, because one of the things, you know, she's got great opportunity now. She's at University of Massachusetts. What higher ed does is just open up this huge potential for everybody, and that's what excites me about it. So one of the issues is the issue of navigating it, which you had the problems with, and the issue of navigating it and navigating the financial aid part. It's tough enough to navigate the school part without trying to figure out how you're going to pay for these. The John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, I'll just talk a little bit about that. So John and Abigail Adams Scholarship has been in place for a few years, and like you found out, it only applies to tuition. And it sounds better than it is, because tuition is very low, because the legislature has capped tuition at our state universities and the UMass system. So they can't raise the tuition, they can only raise fees. As a result of that, the tuition, I think, at a state university is around $950 a year, and the fees are more than, I think this year they're probably around $6,000 a year. So it's a little bit off, but it's not what people expect when it's sold as the scholarship. Right now, I saw the new letters as they went out, and the letter now is much clearer than it was that says what it is you're getting. Okay. But it's still confusing, I think. And then the other one, for children that were in foster care, they do get a waiver of the tuition and fees, but it's only subject to appropriation. So in some years we haven't had enough money to pay for that, especially in the last few years where we've had this downturn. We've made a big effort, and my office has made a big effort to fund that, because the concept is when someone has adopted a child, that they adopted the child with this in place, sort of this promise from the state. And it's something that I think that we should try to do, and that's why we try to do it. We've been doing a reasonable job lately, but I think we can do a whole lot better.